Hey, I hope everyone's doing well. Friday, not Friday, but I work out in the morning. Decided to post a video. Um, it's been a minute. This video is about DaBaby. Video recently got released. Some children, some kids trying to selling items in New York. The usual. Uh, People trying to do something outside of selling drugs or whatever. There are different. Some people feel different ways about that. There are some people who have the view that like sometimes these kids are selling these items and it's like their parents taking the money. I don't know how common that is. I doubt this happens a lot. Maybe it does, but I'm not gonna assume that it's these kids who are doing that. I think it's just kids trying to make money selling candy to buy whatever dumb shit, a game or some shit. But it's the principle. So anyways, so firstly, these kids, so the video is DaBaby is somewhere in the city in New York, and these kids walk up to him and try to sell him candy. And they're trying to sell him candy, and he's asking them, this is just like you're a customer or you're interested in a product because somebody's trying to sell it to you. Hey, what's the price? You know, uh, you usually have a ballpark. You have a ballpark range of what you want to get, right? So in this instance, it was candy. Like, man, that's like everybody been selling that candy, them fruit snacks and shit. That shit like $1. That's like $1, $2. You may get two for $1, like depending on the market where you are at the time. Usually, and many times, if people really trying to get rid of that candy, the kids they gonna sell it for half just to get all that money and to get before everybody else do. So they're trying to overcharge him. So he already had an idea in his mind, and this is not like a luxury good that's being sold or anything like that. This is an item that's commonly sold in terms of like quick flip. Like, we sell it individually, even though we got it for this much, and we kind of make more money selling them single by instead of buying bulk or selling bulk. No, that's known. Cool. These kids said $200 for a box. So let's go through like what happened. He asked the kid how much. He was like 200. He said, "Well, these niggas were tripping." I don't think he said at that time, right? Then he said, "Wait, what?" He asked the other kid. The other kid goes, $200. So two of y'all are saying $200. It would have been one thing if one of them said 200 and then the other one was like gave a more reasonable price. But it seemed like, but what ended up happening was instead of the other one maybe having a more realistic price, because they're not selling all those things in there for $200. That box is not worth $200 each, right? That shit it's not even worth $400. It's not that. The least you could have done is to try and give a more realistic number, so he could have at least like, yo, this is what he's selling. How come you selling this, right? After that, at least at that point, you have there's an opportunity for you to kind of sell back. It's like, okay, my bad. I thought you were finna bless us or something, right? But this is conducting business. This is a bartering. This is a negotiation. This is a transfer of goods, right? This is a transaction you're engaged in. $400. All right, wait. How much is in there? 32. Okay, let's count. How much in there? And how much you selling? Two? How much you selling those for? Two? Is what he asked the kid. Because he's trying to go through this. Wait, you're telling me that these are $200. Is this $200 worth of a good? Let's count. What's 34? How much in there? 34. What's 34 times 2? The kid takes forever to answer it. He didn't even answer it. DaBaby answered the question. It's 68. Yeah, it's not even $100. Oh, wait. I take that back. Or what was it? Was one selling Skittles and one selling the other? Either way, the items altogether weren't over $100. It's taking these kids who are selling candy for singles a while to answer an addition question that you had in the first grade. Because in the first grade, you weren't just adding 5 plus 5. In the first grade, you were adding like 15 plus 15, 34 plus 2. You were doing word problems. These are black kids trying to sell themselves or sell an item, and you can't do first grade math? So what does he do? Okay, so like long story short, I'm not going to explain the whole thing, Well, pretty much, he saw that he was getting finessed. He told the kids, okay, you know what? Y'all had to come correct, because if y'all came correct initially, I would have blessed y'all. Yeah, that's usually it. That happens all the time. He said, I would have blessed y'all. But now, I'm going to buy yours. I'm buy this. Now, y'all, I would have blessed y'all, but y'all ain't got blessed. So instead of them getting a little bit more money than the $2, than the actual price that they sell the items for, they got what they would get if they were trying to sell the item to a random person on a train. You get a public response. Most of the public is like, yo, this is bad. Why do you rappers, y'all do this? It's lame, goofy, all this money. You spend money on bitches, blah, blah, blah. Let's cut through all of that, okay? Let's clear these things up one by one. One, I don't know how many of y'all even voted. I don't know how many of y'all even donated in the last couple years. So I don't want to hear you saying anything about giving people money. Okay, the only thing you donated is to drug dealers with your weed. Okay, that's one thing. That's one thing. So if I'm a person who has money, I shouldn't have to automatically start giving it to everyone. The reason that the other thing I mentioned it about voting is, wasn't DaBaby around doing a thing to get people to vote when his brother killed himself, bro? Where were y'all at? So in terms of charity, in terms of helping, in terms of doing something substantive for people to influence them, what have you done? Okay, that's one. Two, he spends his money on other things. So what? It kind of goes back to the first thing. Why do I need to spend my money on everything? In transactions, how much have I substantively helped? So every time someone come up to me and ask me for money, I got to give it to them because I got it? You don't even do that for yourself. And you probably don't even have money to donate or to give that money away. So I don't know why you'd hold that for somebody else. That's second, okay? Three. Why are black people coddling black kids? If you've ever been anywhere, and this says much about people, and it shows much about black people and how they'll never have the ability to, because it's not about the item you're selling, it's about the principle. Okay? And this is kind of what DaBaby was at the end. Like, nigga, I sold candy before too. Like, hey, look this bankroll real quick. And I know they pissed, but if you had come correct, I would have blessed you. What would he have probably done? He would have given them each $100 or something like that, or 50. $100. Now, this is similar to the Meek Mill thing, but we'll get to the Meek Mill thing in a second, right? This is similar to the Meek Mill thing, but, right? You could have made more than that $2 or the basic or the amount that you usually get for the item that you sell, but you didn't. A white kid selling, anytime a kid had to sell something when I was growing up around white kids or people who were trying to teach their kid to be a little bit more of an adult and have more business sense, because most people on earth don't have a business sense. So yeah, you want to motivate, you want your child to have these skills when they're younger. What were all these little things you had to sell when you were younger? And I never did it. You were selling items, you get a bunch of points, you get some corny item, it's candy or it's a bag or it's like a toy or something, but you have to market, or your parents have money and then they have their friends buy it. Nah, there are many kids who are out there. They go door to door. Their parent is a chaperone and they're just standing there, little Karen mom, and little Timmy is selling his item. Hi, would you like to buy any of these things? I know you have a daughter. I know you have a blah, blah. So these are white kids. They have their whole setup. They have their whole presentation. They have their whole, what's the price of the item? Because what's the idea? Even though I'm an adult and you're a kid, I want to, this is cool to see, right? You're trying to sell items. I at least want to know that in principle, you have a decent work ethic to present it well enough for me to want to buy it. That's very important in terms of marketing, in terms of being able to sell an item. At least it don't even matter if it's useful. At least you're willing to buy it. If you're willing to buy it, that's a start. But if you're willing to buy it, you don't mess it up like that. What were these kids doing? Why do black people do this for their kids? You don't see, if you actually been in an area where white people's kids, they do not do these things. They are not failing. A white person selling stuff on the street, selling stuff anywhere. Older people, hey, young Johnny, they're gonna try to test you because they like that. You do not see. People are under the impression that white people are so smart and all this. No, it's their baseline is just there. You're making a norm for black kids to not even be able to add 34 plus 34 in a quick math problem. You're trying to enable that type of skill set in this world for a black kid. They're 14-year-old kids being the first black people to win spelling bees out here, finally, because that was dominated by Indians. What are y'all doing? And it makes me wonder, are we always going to be like this? Are we always going to be in a situation where black people they're so used to something so low that you don't want to make the baseline of your children higher? You think that's acceptable? So he didn't have to spend his money because it's his money. He didn't have to, you don't got to give money to everybody just because you got money. Because even the people saying, yeah, he don't do that. 3, these kids, I'm just summarizing something. 3, these kids don't have any business trying to do that, okay? You can't, there are kids who are their age, they're already coding. These kids are already, there are kids in Africa who can market better than these kids and they had nothing. You in New York, you probably finna use that money to buy a game or something. And there are kids in Africa, your age, who are building stuff and they in poverty, destitute poverty. How privileged are black people to respond to DaBaby that way, trying to teach these kids a lesson? Let's give another scenario. If I'm at those, I've been in this situation many times. I'm not gonna, if let's say there are 2 people, there are one group of people who sell like that. Hey, I'm off candy. Hey, I have this buy. You know, you want this? How much? $2, $4, or it's any random price depending on how you look. That, or a person who comes on the train, comes wherever, he got a whole setup. He got 6 different boxes, cookies, chips, candy. He cut off the flap that covers, right, to make it even, right? He taped it. Their handles, it's secure. He done made a whole device. Comes in on the train, drops it on the floor. Hey, everybody, sorry to interrupt. Happy morning. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day. They have a whole script. I'm selling this, you know. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do something better instead of something. I would have just off of principle, any day of the week, I would buy something off of him, even though I don't want it, because I'm respecting what they're doing, as opposed to the former kids, as opposed to the kids like DaBaby. And when you see these kids who got the handle, who got that whole setup, yeah, they're going to do it. Right? Hey, I did it. Okay. Damn, I got this. Oh man, I only got $5. All right, that's cool. Right? I'll still give you 3. Right? You know what? Because it's your kids today. You know, I'm feeling good. I'll hook you up. I'll give you 4 for 5. Right? Or I'll give you like a bag of cookies and like 2 of these for $5. Like they're already doing the math in their head. These kids can't even do 32 times 2 just quick. So what? You ain't do math problems in 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, 4th grade? So who's gonna make more money? Who would have a better chance of being blessed like that? You think if DaBaby ran into a dude like I just put, that he wouldn't give him money? He would have like, you know what? Hold on, I got a couple dudes back at the studio. We gonna buy a couple more. Something like that would have happened. But you didn't even come correct. So why would I bless you? Why would I give you more? Nah, you don't get that. You don't get that. People underestimate the amount of money you can make from this. I don't worked out enough. I decided to work out, and then these last 10 minutes I was going to go off for 15, right? See how many times people got to, dang, I forgot what I was going to say. Think how many times, think of the situation with Meek Mill. I'll just go to that because I forgot my other thing. Think of the situation with Meek Mill. What could those kids have done? How many times has he given money away? And every time he got to get money? Damn. You guys got to think. That's it's deontology versus consequentialism here. It's like you guys are all woke and all this up for support of motivating people. You don't even got your mind right. That don't make no sense. So every single time someone asks me for money because I got it, I ought to give you money. You crazy, boy. Boy, you know how quick that moral system gonna get exploited? Are you crazy? You know how quick that moral system is going to get exploited? You know how quick you finna run out of money? You doing that? Nah. There's a lot of problems. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. People underestimate the amount of money you can make selling candy. I guarantee you, those kids, if you are good at what you're doing and you present yourself well enough, that means you're more marketable to white people. That means if these kids go farther down in the city, they don't gotta stay at Grand Concourse. You can market in the city with the little kids or the little white girls who are drunk, or the people in the city who are drunk. Like, you can appeal to different demographics to increase your profit margin. With the latter kid that I explained, got the whole setup. He clean. He got an outfit on. He don't got to be in a suit. He dressed up clean though. You know he woke up. He took a shower. He done pressed his clothes. You know, he got some fresh shoes on. That's presentation. That's presentation. I'm not gonna. Nothing's wrong with those kids' hair and shit. But even then, it wasn't even like they were presentable. Really though, you could have put that hoodie in your bag. Like, you could have put that hoodie in like your bag. Like, you could have done so much to make yourself more presentable. Selling candy, you can make about 100 plus a day, especially in New York. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Those can be 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds. You're making 100 a day. You can make over the summer if you ain't working no job, or if you ain't working no job and you ain't got summer school, and you done your work. Let's say if you were a smart kid. You make like 1,000 in 2 weeks. That's more than most adults. Hey, depending on your lifestyle, you could be making more than your mama, working whatever job she working. You selling candy 5 days a week in New York, and you got good presentation. Come on, those kids could have done what they were doing and done their job, or have really good presentation. They just had the perfect pitch to start out. Those kids could have gotten $100 for that day and been done. We sold off. We sold a pack. It's gone. We made money. Now we got the rest of the day. But if these kids can't even do that, then it makes you wonder what else they do. So if you gave them that $100 each, what would have happened with that? Would they have just spent it on some nonsense? You can't even market well. So what makes me think that what the hell are you gonna do with this money? You gonna flip it? Are you gonna flip it? That would have been good. Yeah, we both made money. Let's say we both got $100 and we made that money. So we sold it. And what the most that we'd make is 68, because we're selling it $2 for that candy, or $1. I don't know what it was, right? And we're making money. We're selling it for that. What are we going to do with the extra money? Are we just going to burn it? Are we going to use a little bit more and buy a little bit more of these to double it, right? Because now you have more, your operating revenue can increase because you made more money, right? So instead of using more of that money that you made that's extra as to increase your profit margin by being able to sell more items, by increasing your output, by increasing your supply, what you gonna do? You gonna buy more candy and food and chips and all that? I mean, yeah, well, like, what would those kids, if Meek had given them the money, had done? He could have given them double and then have them all split it. Like, there's so much that goes into what you would have done with everything else that, you know, the principle, it says a lot. The fundamentals show a lot. And how those kids came off, yeah, you know, you'll be all right. You're gonna waste the money on nonsense anyway. This is a life skill. So that, him denying them and just giving them that's a bigger life lesson for them. Come correct. You're not gonna be like DaBaby and Balenciaga, coming out the Sprinter, coming out whatever, got bands on him, got a bankroll on him, got jewelry. You're not gonna be like that if this is how you present it, because the white people, they not even gonna look at you. You know, like, comment, subscribe. That's all I gotta say, really. You know, it's off principle. You're seeing black kids seeing another black man in a position, knowing that he got money. You think that he got there acting like they are? Nah, you half stepping with business, boy. And like he said, niggas been selling candy before. Niggas were doing that. When niggas were your age, niggas were not like that. You better start out early, because it's rough out here. Like, comment, subscribe, GG. Tell me what you think.